everybody. Welcome to Dump and Dish, episode 13. I'm Coach Switz here with my co-host, Coach Zane. How are we doing today, Coach Zane?
Fantastic. How about you?
Good, man. Feeling refreshed after our week off last week, huh? How'd you feel after that?
Yeah, it was a good week off. Great 4th of July weekend. It was just it was good to have a little bit of time off. We did come in and get some filming done around here, and
a lot of filming on Monday.
Yeah, picking up on the stuff that kind of gets pushed to the side while we're on the ice 5, 6, 7 hours a day.
Yep.
During summer camp, so it's good to catch up on a lot of that stuff and
got our ice schedule together for next year.
Yeah, start programming. It's crazy to think that we're already looking at our programming for next spring and summer.
Yep. Christmas camps.
We work a year out to make sure that we can provide as much as possible.
Yeah, it's a good week. It's a good week. How was your 4th? What'd you do?
Great.
How was that bouncy house you talked about?
It was awesome. Had the bouncy house in the front yard. We had about 25, 30 people over the course of the day. And
now, is that like a water slide bouncy house, or is that a non-water slide bouncy house?
It was a water slide bouncy house.
Meant to be or turned into?
Meant to be.
Okay.
Meant to be.
Gotcha.
Ordered as, it had a kind of a dry bouncy house, and then the slide had the sprinkler system over top of it. So by the end of it, the whole thing ended up as a wet bouncy house. Yeah. But no, all in all, a great party. Everybody was having a blast, and the fireworks, are 2 blocks away. So from the pool, they took down a tree behind our house. So now it is just a clear view of the fireworks. It was awesome. All the kids could just stay in the pool and, watch the Kirkwood fireworks boom right over top. My daughter did get stung by a bee, so that was a little interesting. So she wasn't too happy on Thursday night, but she was all right with that. By Friday, Saturday, she was doing just fine. So,
that's good. That's good. How'd you do cooking? Did you burn everything?
It was, it was hot dogs and hamburgers. And
tough to mess them up.
Really tough to mess up. And did a few brats and boiled those first. So
what'd you think of that? I gave you that little tip.
Yeah,
it helped.
It was awesome. So
that's why they're cooked. You don't have to worry about it.
Nope. It worked out perfectly. And
now, are you a hot dog burner, or are you like them like roasted? You know what I mean?
More
people like them burned.
More like roasted.
Okay,
I'm serving
top rack cooking.
I'm serving the under 10 crowd that has to pick it up and look all the way around it first to make sure. And so anything I can do to keep the grill marks off of it as much as possible. A little bit, no big deal, but don't want that to get out of hand, and then they'll just look at me like, nope, not eating that.
Nope, not a chance.
Rather have it in the microwave.
Don't think so.
But how about yours? How was your little party?
Mine was good. Week was good. Did a lot of barbecuing. Did a lot of lying around in the pool. And then we had about 35 people come over on 4th of July, Friday. And fireworks just went off great. I did my own show. It was fun. It was all good. No bee stings.
Yeah.
Saying it was funny. We were finally outnumbered by little kids than the adults now, so the party has changed.
Yes.
Yep, a little different now, but it was still a good time.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right, let's get into it. Topic for today, all about the ice rinks around town.
All right.
Best and worst. Let's start with, fired off with the ice. What's the best and worst ice in town? Start with the best, Coach.
I'm really liking the Fenton ice rink that we're at right now. Just the quality of ice.
It's been clean.
When the Zamboni's been working properly, and they just got that laser leveler for the auger. And they've worked through it over the last couple of weeks, and they're working through their ups and downs of it. But at the end of the day, I think that's going to be a real clean ice by the end of it. Once they get everything dialed in. In the past, I would have said Afton. I love how they keep the ice super cold, the rink, because they don't do figure skating and public sessions. It is a hockey rink.
Yep.
They've had some issues over the last couple of years along the boards with the condensation.
Yeah.
They
lost that top spot when they can't.
You can't rim the puck right now. It's tough for us in the mornings to do wall play there, things like that. But once they get that figured out, cleaned up, a humidity issue, whatever that may be. I'm no ice rink expert of what's causing it, but once they get that figured out, I would go back to Afton any day. I love how they keep it a nice, cold, hard sheet of ice that's made for hockey and not made for anything else, and they don't have to cater to, like I said, the figure skaters in public session, people aren't out there in shorts and a T-shirt. They keep it cold for hockey.
Well, and even Fenn's been going pretty good, even when it's 80 degrees in the building. I haven't complained about ice melting yet.
No.
Nice.
No. It's been a great sheet of ice to.
Webster's pretty good though. Don't sleep on Webster. Joe does a nice job over there.
Yeah.
And, Webster. Fenton's your one though, huh? Fenton's your
I would-
number
I-
one.
I
You
would-
like that laser leveled ice? It's
I-
perfect. You're right.
Yeah,
It's perfect when it's working.
Yeah, saw it first up at Notre Dame.
Yeah, that was
a
cool
few
back
years
then.
back,
Yep.
and it's cool that technology is now getting affordable for municipalities and private organizations to bring it in, not just major universities. So,
What's your worst sheet ice?
probably Pacific, just because of the size.
Okay.
That's a tough one, but it saved a club, and in St. Louis,
Yeah.
when Chesterfield Ice Rink or Hardy's, what it was called, sold to Topgolf, and I've heard multiple times that they were warning that was going to happen, that the land became too valuable. When we were kids, that was just flood, a floodplain. Flood of '93, you could have fished in there in a boat. But once they levied it, the price of that land kept going up, and all the big box stores started coming in. And you could just you could see the writing on the wall. And I had heard that there was warnings for years that they were going to do that, and nobody really took heed to it. And then all of a sudden, boom, it happened.
Boom, Topgolf.
And so it was, where can we get an ice rink as fast as possible up and running and save this organization? So it also holds a place in my heart that it saved an organization in town that would have not had a home. And so, yes, I think it's 7 feet short in the neutral zone. They can't play high level hitting hockey. Because it's dangerous, but at the end of the day, it did save.
It worked.
Yeah. Other than that, I think McHenry would probably be on my list.
I'm on Queenie. It's a little warm ice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I can see that. I can see that.
Warm. It gets cut deep, but it's a real mess come third period, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You definitely need that mid game scrape over at Queenie.
Yeah, that is true.
All right, moving on. What about locker rooms? Which locker rooms do you like?
Ooh, I would say my least favorite is probably Fenton. As much as I love the ice, I mean, it was.
I'll go old school Queenie before they redid them.
Freshmen get dressed in the shared bathroom, between the urinals.
Like 3 teams or 2 teams in one room here.
Yeah, that was a tough one at the old Queenie. They've done a good job redoing it, except for they only put one shower head.
It's wild.
It was crazy.
You just wonder who builds these things sometimes.
So yeah, awesome, great space. And then you go into the shower, and there's
45-minute shower.
Yeah, there's one shower, and you're playing all your big high school games there. So you got 20 guys on each team that have to shower after these games, and they can do it one at a time. So, the single shower head is kind of crazy to me, but the new locker rooms are better. For me, it's the size. The Fenton, Pacific falls into that too, but those were also built as indoor soccer arenas.
Yeah.
So I understand why the locker rooms are small, but it's really tough to cram a team into any of those. And Pacific doesn't get high school games, but Fenton does, and Fenton gets some decent sized ones. The Rockwood Summit Parkway South Tilts and things like that are played at Fenton.
It's full house when that happens.
Yeah,
one in, one out.
Yeah, and so those locker rooms are just small to get a big team ready. They're fine for my 6 and 8Us, no big deal, whatever. But you get a full size adult team or a high school team. It's tough to get dressed.
I'm gonna throw Shark Tank in there for a nice set of locker rooms. I like they're big, they're square. They got it's a good setup over there at the Shark Tank.
Yeah, no, the Shark Tank does have a good setup. I'm trying to think.
Centene's good. It's just they're kind of cheating. They're new. You spend $80 million. It should be nice.
Well, and then they did like goofy things, like in the USA rink, they went in and built in cubbies above the racks where you can put hang your jerseys, but then it made the hanging parts unusable.
Yeah.
And then they didn't paint them, so it was just bare wood. So you did it, and then you're trying to add things, and they were trying to do that. I heard for the NCAA side of it, so there's a helmet spot, because NCAA plays off that USA rink, the away teams, and again, it just kind of cheaply
half done.
Yeah, half done, and they're having trouble with maintenance there now. We've had locker rooms where there's a door that's been off of one of the stalls for a couple months, just kind of laying in lock.
$12 in your bank account, tough to fix the locker rooms up.
Yeah,
Not a lot more worries.
So anyway, favorite locker room now. I'm with you. I like the Shark Tank. I like the new Chesterfield rink.
Yeah.
Tucked underneath. They're
Those are
nice.
nice.
Yeah, they're nice. I'm trying to think of other ones. Brentwood's got decent ones. They're not huge when they redid it, but they're good sized and
satisfactory
and laid out in a smart way that makes sense.
Yep.
So and locker rooms don't have to be super, super fancy, but they serve a purpose and they're big enough. That's the biggest thing. Make sure they're big enough that you can fit a full team in there.
Yeah, everybody can sit
without
on
overflowing.
the bench.
Yeah,
the little things.
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna stay in the locker rooms. What about the showers? Best and worst showers.
Ooh,
We all know the worst. Come on, just put it out there.
Fenton.
Oh, Fenton, that's one. I'm
So-
gonna say Afton. Afton showers are they're pretty gross.
So
Pretty dark and dingy in the old Afton showers.
So mine with Fenton is the walk of shame you have to do from the locker rooms.
Yeah.
So you after again we've got a big high school game, and again I know that it was set up for indoor soccer, but the walk from the locker rooms behind the benches of whatever is going
Middle of
next
the game.
in your towel to go
Yep.
down to the shower room and then come back. It's that walk that gets me more than the showers or anything else like that. You're just kind of out in the public.
I see that.
Yeah.
I see that.
Best ones, Centene's got good ones again.
Centene, they're just new and bright and clean.
Yeah. Queenie, if it's just me showering, it's fine. But
Queenie's luxurious.
But and again, they're new, but I need to have more shower heads in that one. So yeah, that's what I'd say.
Nice. All right, let's look here. Let's also. What about snack bars? I mean, I know there's only one in my opinion.
I'm right there. I'll let you take this one.
It's got to be Afton
Yeah.
Snack Bar.
Yeah.
If you're in the area Saturday, Sunday mornings, just swing and get yourself a nice egg Sammy.
Yeah, bacon,
You'll
egg,
thank
and
me,
cheese.
later. Yeah, bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich on the white bread, like Wonder Bread. It's just delicious.
When people are showing up to the rink that have nothing to do with hockey just to get a bacon, egg, and cheese
have breakfast.
after church,
Yep.
you got something good going.
Something
you're
good's going.
You're bringing in the public, not just the captive audience of my kids playing hockey here right now.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Where's the best place to watch a game?
USA rink, I would say at Centene right now is probably my favorite place to watch a game.
I think it's too big for most games. Yeah, if it's a sold-out game like the state finals, there's nothing better than that place. But like an 8 or 10U squirt game is a little big for it.
Well,
You don't really get the cheers. And,
I like that they typically keep the stands at a reasonable temperature. The ice is still good.
Yep.
And I can see it from all the way around. So I their stands
See the whole rink.
The whole rink. So
Yeah.
like if there's some player like when we typically go, if it's not my kids, I'm going to watch a couple players that are out there. So I'm able to move and see from their positioning. So if I want to see, are they playing the dot line, I can go stand behind the dot line. I can go, if I want to see their forecheck, I can go down into the corners and watch, their battles in the corners. Like I can get as close or as far away as I want to be, and I can circle the entire rink. So I get every view possible. That's why I choose that from a skills coach standpoint. I like Webster's ice rink. I love elevated stands.
I like Webster.
Yeah.
I was even going to say Queenie's a pretty good place to watch a game from.
Yeah, I like the elevated stands where you're above the play. You can see down. Even All-American, the only one row of people get to watch that.
all 15.
But you're right on top of the ice. For watching the game, you're part of the action. You're there. It's a tight, space. But, if you're on the front row of that upper balcony, you can really see the game.
All right, final question.
Oh, you did? Well, where do you think the worst place is to watch a game in St. Louis?
Worst place? Well, we in St. Louis, or can I say Cahokia?
You can say Cahokia.
I'll go Cahokia. Chain link, hot, sunny. It can be a tough day out there.
I would say the small rink at McKendree. They just don't have, and Pacific kind of falls into that too, where they're like, but at least like McKendree was built.
Plager isn't great. I can tell you that.
No, there's at least like 5 or 6 rows of stands in Plager. Plager's issue, and we're gonna add one to this list at the end.
You can add it. I know what you're gonna add.
Yeah. But McKendree was built as an ice rink, and there's no stands on the second side. They have the one big rink, and then they have the smaller rink that you have to sit like around the one corner, and that's it in that.
It's a practice rink.
But if you look at the other side at the big rink, there's like 50 feet behind the players' benches of mostly unused space,
100%.
and so like
But they do have a laser light show that you should all check out.
No, that's RP Lumber. That was when we played. That was when we played at Edwardsville, and
Edwardsville's got the light show.
Yeah, and they were like, "Hold on,
should go check out the light show."
We're gonna hold the game for 5 minutes for the light show, and the light show was
guys
about
up there with laser pointers, just
like
using the laser
about
pointers.
6 feet in diameter around center ice. Even like the players were like, "Can we get going now?
What is
going on right now?"
All right, go with your last one.
No, I was gonna say best places to coach.
Okay, go ahead. Take it off. Kick it off.
I like USA when it comes to Centene. My favorite is actually the barn at Centene.
Okay. It's too dead for me.
Oh man,
I don't know why. It's too dead.
I love that if I'm coaching a full ice practice, anybody can hear me from anywhere. What I don't like is Plager, and we do most of our practices at Plager.
Yeah, it's echoey.
And it's so echoey. I have to go explain the drill 3 times.
Yeah, all 4 corners get their own explanation.
That's exactly right. Creve Coeur is pretty good with the acoustics now that they've redone that roof a little bit. It used to be you could hear everybody perfectly in the stands. It was almost like a whisper wall. Like all your voice would go over.
Up and around
Yeah.
and down.
Oh, yeah. And you had to, like, on the bench, you had to be careful. Like, if you said something, like, the whole rink heard it. The acoustics
Webster
were
can
like
get that way from the coaching bench.
Yeah, yeah.
Shout out Coach Corey.
Yeah. So, yeah, I the biggest thing is the echoes. I don't like the echoing.
Old school Afton.
Old school Afton. Yeah.
That's my pick.
Yeah.
It's just tried and true. There's no echo. It has a little bounce to it.
The old barn is nice.
It's made for hockey.
Yeah, I've got a heart for Afton too. Yeah, I'm with you there.
All right, Coach. That's Dump and Dish episode 13. You got anything else?
No. It's been great. And a great week at camps. It's been so cool this week at camp. Yeah, so far. So, that's all I got.
All right, folks. Episode 13 in the book. Shout out Alyssa. Nice job on the topic today.
Yeah.
We'll see y'all next week. Thanks.